Here is the dangerous part. A RAG system can be perfectly grounded and still be useless.
Exactly. Groundedness and usefulness sound aligned, but they are different tests. If you merge them, you ship something that looks safe and still fails users.
So this is not a semantics debate. This is a product risk.
A real one. Programmers building RAG systems need both. Groundedness asks, did the answer stay anchored to retrieved evidence? Usefulness asks, did the answer actually solve the user's problem?
Give me the sharp distinction, because teams blur this all the time.
Grounded means the model's claims are supported by the retrieved documents. No unsupported leaps, no made-up facts, no borrowing confidence from nowhere. Useful means the answer is relevant, complete enough, and actionable for the task at hand.
So a model can quote the right passage and still waste the user's time.
Yes. Picture an internal support bot. An engineer asks, how do I rotate an API key without downtime? The bot retrieves the security policy, cites it correctly, and answers, API keys must be rotated every 90 days. Grounded? Yes. Useful? Not even close.
Because the user asked for a procedure, not a policy slogan.
Right. They needed steps, prerequisites, edge cases, maybe a warning about active sessions. Groundedness protects against fabrication. Usefulness protects against irrelevance.
Now flip it. Can something be useful but not grounded?
Absolutely. And that is often more dangerous. The answer can sound brilliant, include plausible steps, and even fix the immediate issue. But if those steps are not supported by your sources, you have a hidden reliability problem.
That is the seductive failure mode. People praise the bot because it sounds smart.
Until it tells someone to restart the wrong service in production. Imagine a runbook assistant. The operator asks what to do when queue lag spikes. The model invents a tuning flag that exists in a different system. The response feels useful because it is concrete, but it is ungrounded, and in operations, confident fiction is worse than no answer.
So, groundedness is about epistemic discipline. Usefulness is about task success.
That is a good framing. One checks whether the answer is justified, the other checks whether the answer helps. In RAG, you need both, because retrieval gives you evidence, but evidence alone does not guarantee a good response.
How do you tell them apart when you evaluate a system? Not in theory.
Use separate rubrics. For groundedness, inspect each material claim and ask, is it directly supported, reasonably inferred, or unsupported by the retrieved context? For usefulness, ask whether the answer addressed the user's intent, covered the needed steps, handled constraints, and left the user able to act.
So, one score is evidence alignment, the other is task completion.
Yes, and do not let citation presence stand in for groundedness. A citation can be attached to a sentence that the source does not really support. Also, do not let user satisfaction stand in for truth. People often love answers that are fast, polished, and wrong.
That sounds like a power shift inside teams. The demo wins if usefulness is all you measure. Compliance wins if groundedness is all you measure.
Exactly. And the best teams refuse that false choice. Consider a benefits assistant inside a company. An employee asks whether a contractor can enroll in the health plan after conversion to full-time. The bot retrieves enrollment rules and answers with exact waiting periods, eligibility, and the required HR form. That is useful because it resolves the decision. It is grounded because every claim maps to policy text.
And the weak version would either dump policy excerpts or guess based on common sense.
Right. Dumping excerpts is grounded but low value. Guessing from generic HR patterns is useful sounding, but risky. The craft is turning retrieved evidence into a direct answer, without crossing beyond what the evidence can support.
What usually causes teams to miss usefulness in RAG systems?
3 things. First, retrieval gets optimized for topical similarity instead of decision relevance. Second, prompts reward caution so heavily that answers become evasive. Third, evaluation focuses on hallucination rates while ignoring whether users got unstuck.
And what causes teams to miss groundedness?
They overtrust fluent synthesis. If the model can stitch together a compelling explanation from fragments, people stop checking whether the key conclusion was actually present in the sources. That is where subtle failures hide, especially in legal, medical, finance, and ops contexts.
So the practical move is to design for a pair of outcomes, not one.
Yes, ask two separate questions for every answer. Can I trace this back? And can the user do something with it? If either answer is no, the system is not done.
That changes roadmaps too. Better retrieval alone will not rescue a bot that never answers the real question.
And better phrasing alone will not rescue a bot that cannot justify its claims. In RAG, groundedness earns trust, usefulness earns adoption. And the winners are the teams that know those are different jobs.